Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Repeateron, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the new weapons, and I'm going to be giving my first impressions. This is the Boltshark. This is Scout's new crossbow, which is a really cool weapon, and the weapon I was probably looking forward to the most out of all the new secondaries. So what this one can do is it fires off crossbow bolts that you can pick up if you miss targets. If you hit targets, doesn't matter what size of target they are. I also don't think it matters if you hit any of the neutral wildlife, so if you end up hitting like one of the jellyfish or one of like the maggots or something, I don't think you can get your bolt back then. The bolts do travel fairly fast. They have a sudden drop off at a certain distance, so they travel fairly straight and then they start to drop really quickly. Maybe I should do it from this angle. So they go pretty quick and then kind of drop off. I've kind of noticed that. You can have two different bolt types with this too. It's dependent solely on your tier 1 here. So you can take pheromone bolts, explosive chemical bolts. These deal damage. Well, these deal damage into an area once the enemy that was infected with this dies. If this hits like the ground, it doesn't do anything. Some of these other ones kind of do. Like the pheromone dart is kind of an AoE, so you can sort of splash this to enemies. At least it feels that way to me. Not sure if that's 100% true. The lightning one seems to still leave the bolt on the ground, that if enemies walk across it, it will still zap them, similar to like the electro minelets. I'm going to go with pheromone darts for this one, but they all seem pretty good. I'm going with increased ammo in tier 2, faster reloads in tier 3, bonus movement speed in tier 4, and then electric shafts in tier 5. This one seems interesting. This one's almost like turret arc, where you can just kind of arc the bolts together. So we're going to try that one out. I don't think I've really tried it out. I've tried some of these other ones though. We won't be running any overclocks on it or anything. I just want to try out the regular version. And then we'll be running the Drac with this. And interestingly enough, the Drac actually did get changed. The aggressive venting is now a clean overclock rather than a bounced overclock. And impact deflection is now a bounced overclock instead of a clean overclock. So far, I haven't tried the aggressive venting with this. I think it's a great change because aggressive venting was already pretty good. And then impact deflection, I did try earlier today when I was streaming. The projectiles still bounce normally, but the slower rate of fire is kind of noticeable. It's not so bad. It still feels pretty good with this, and if you do take the increased rate of fire in tier 1, I think you're back up to the normal amount. Alright, so this time we're going on an egg hunt, and we're just going to try to get these.
Help me with the minerals.
Busco, you can get that one. I'm just going to look around here. We don't really need to collect stuff like this, because this is the experimental, and everything that we have doesn't really matter. I'm also not going to be going for the secondaries. Just the primary mission, and I'm not going to be going for any sort of gold because it doesn't transfer to our account at all. We don't get paid. So only nitro. And it looks like the enemies are here. Alright. So as you can see, the crossbow does a very high damage.
Die, you double-jointed freaks!
Oh yeah, there's new voice lines too, which is pretty great. And to switch between the bolts, you can just push R to switch between them really quick. The pheromone on a couple of these, see what attacks it. These ones do seem pretty good, especially with the amount that you get. Huh. I swear that hit him, but I guess not. You might be able to see the bolt drop in this room. Let's try. So as you can kind of see, it does gradually drop. I don't think this room is quite big enough to show it. But any bolts that don't hit enemies, you can pick up, unless you're running certain overclocks I've seen. Then it doesn't work that way. Now, interestingly enough, the crossbow also has its own unique damage type. It has a piercing damage type. A little bit of stuff there. Alright. Oh yeah, and there's a new animation for when things die. If they die from burning, they turn to ash. That's pretty nice too. I like that a lot. Yeah. But the crossbow does seem quite strong against most enemies. I really haven't found a whole lot of enemies that it's not great against. Even without any sort of mods on it, when I was running it unmodded, it still has enough damage to one-shot regular grunts, which is great. Yeah, just body shots, not even headshots. So you don't have to be super accurate with it. You can kind of reload cancel it. It's not that much faster than what you can actually shoot it, though, so that probably won't be a great idea. It's not like the M1000 or like the Warthog, where you can actually get a significant boost in rate of fire there. It's going to be pretty minimal. It is also a little bit difficult to use this at very long ranges against certain enemies, just because of the drop-off. Although it does kill things like acid spitters right away, which is really nice.
The swarm's heading your way.
Yeah, there's our swarm egg. Alright. Knew it had to be around here somewhere.
Follow me, Bosco.
Let's Bosco. Alright, well, we've got how many bolts left? 10 of our pheromone bolts and 12 of our regular bolts. Okay.
Contact. Lock and load.
I have got to try each of the different bolt types. The pheromone bolts I really like because of how long they last and how many of them you get. I find that they're pretty useful for hitting high-value targets like the slashers. Or even the guards, because then it takes a while to actually kill them. Let's see, we'll just kind of hit all these things. Wow, that is a giant cloud. Alright. And the drag with aggressive venting feels really nice now.
Don't let him flank you.
Like, it felt nice before. It was already one of my favorite overclocks for the drag. But man, having all this ammo on top of being super ammo efficient already, it's gonna take a long time to actually run through this. Oops. There we go. And just fire wildly into the crowd and then light everything on fire.
No more beasties incoming. Take care of what is left, then have a breather.
Now, whoops. I'm also unclear as to what the heck happens sometimes with these. Because they seem to just fly randomly if they're in an IFG. And I guess it's because the velocity on them changes. At least that's the only thing I can think of. Damn.
I gotta watch the overheating. No more
Yeah.
bolts.
Oh. Yeah. I was out of crossbow bolts anyway, but still. I was hoping I wouldn't get down by that.
Line, then can.
All eggs
Alright.
collected. Manage
That's the
to
last egg that we got.
Escape pod button is activated.
Wharf life in a nutshell. Die, prick. Grabbing ammo.
Get rid of some of my bolts so I can get more bolts.
Ready to kill some more crate.
No, whoops, sorry, Bosco. I think I pierced through Bosco, though. Alright, let's get out of here
On the
then.
way. Hang in there.
Just try to run around and shoot a couple things with this. So far, I'm really liking the crossbow. It seems really good to me. I'm not sure how great it would be without like overclocks to either it or to the M1000 in combination.
Lighting!
It should be fine with the GK2 and with the
Pod has arrived. Retrieving the mule.
what's the other one? The drag that I'm
Pod
using.
departing in
It should be
T-minus
fine with
5
either one of those.
Fireman.
I don't think you'll run into ammo issues there. With the M1000 you might. And it does seem a little bit strange to be pairing both of them together without overclocks because they both kind of do the same job. Go after him. Or them or something. Alright.
Fall back to the drop.
The mule's been successfully retrieved. Make it snappy, team. The drop pod won't hang around forever.
Stand your ground! Get for quarter!
Away we go.
Breakable.
Goodbye, Bosco! Alright, so that's kind of the first look at the crossbow. And so far, my first impression is that I really like the crossbow. I think it's super fun. How good is it compared to the other secondaries? I don't know. It does do more single target damage than like the Zhukov's. Probably not more than the boomstick, though, at least at very close range. It does have longer range than the boomstick does. Usually the boomstick is sometimes really consistent. It's very odd. But I think that it is a good addition to Scout's arsenal. I really like it. The special bolts I really find interesting. I like that you can pick those. The regular bolts also pretty good. And the overclocks for this weapon seem really crazy. We're definitely going to have to try them out at some point too, because some of them seem really awesome. So thanks everybody for watching this. I really do appreciate it. And special thanks to the supporters of this channel. These are my members over here on YouTube and my patrons over on Patreon. They get early access to videos like this. If you would like to be a part of it, there are links down in the description. Thanks everybody who does that. It really does help out the channel a lot. You guys take care, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye!